Hey guys, what's up? As promised, I'm gonna do a safe lane support commentary on how to zone the offlaner. I tried to pick a replay where I didn't do super well, but it's still able to showcase the concepts of zoning an offlaner properly. Alright, so I'm playing Rubik this game. My safe lane is me, DK, and Silencer, and we're against an offlane runner. The first thing you want to do as a safe lane support player is run into your jungle, try to scout where the offlaner might have placed any wards, and try to protect your camps from being warded. Unfortunately, I was a bit slow this game, and my team was slow also, so I'm kind of afraid to really check thoroughly. Ideally, you kind of just want to run towards your lane as soon as you spawn, and have your team back you up as well. But this is a pub, so that's not going to happen. Alright, so we're going to try to contest the rune, as you always should. And we're going to try to check the offlaner's items right here. We see that she has a shared tango, a salve, and a pair of boots. And I'm going to try to cliff her here, but I'm bad, so I failed. But yeah, when you check the offlaner's items, you kind of want to react to what she has. So if they have lots of regen, you know that trading with them is going to take a while. If they don't have lots of regen, you know that trading with them is going to be really beneficial for you, so you can burn through their regen faster, and it'll make them really scared to come into lane. So since I saw that she had only a salve, I'm going to trade with her immediately. And right there where I right-clicked her, notice that I'm standing away from the range creep. The range for creep aggro is 500, and my auto attack range is 600, so it's pretty easy to figure out what range I need to be standing in to not draw the creep aggro. Drawing creep aggro does three things. One, it makes you take more damage while trading because a creep's hitting you. Two, it pushes the lane since the enemy creeps are not hitting your creeps. And three, it can fuck up with your carry's last hits because there's like a sudden shift in creep DPS that might make them lose a last hit since the creeps are like moving around and shit. So it's the number one thing you should not do as a support, besides die to the offlaner. That's probably number one. But number two is draw creep aggro. I can't tell you how annoyed I get at bad supports who like draw the creep aggro and then like yell at you, oh, why are you pushing the lane? Like, why are you missing last hits? Yeah. Anyways, so just keep in mind what 500 range looks like, and make sure that you're standing outside when you right-click the enemy offlaner. Okay, so we're gonna attack her a little bit, do some harass. Unfortunately, we're not gonna get the kill, but we make her pop her salve, which is good. So now that we know that she doesn't have any regen left, we're gonna try to trade with her. This line of thought should usually it should be your usual line of thought. Once the offlaner is low on regen, you want to trade more, because any harass that you do to her is going to stick, while any trades that you get, you're going to be able to tango up. And once the offlaner is low, they're going to be super scared to come into lane because they risk dying. So this line of thought is good, but what happens next is bad. I make a big misplay. I wasn't keeping track of where the creep wave was, so I tried to trade with her when the creep wave was coming into the tower. And this allows her to just click me 3 times for free because I have to run away from the creeps. So the creep wave comes into the offlane tower at 20 seconds or 50 seconds every minute. So when the creep wave is coming, you want to kind of back off a little bit and let the creeps pass, and then you can kind of walk past the creeps since they're aggro to your own creeps, and trade with them behind their creeps, if that makes any sense. So I made a big misplay there, and because of this, I'm gonna lose out on a tango's worth of regen. And I know that she has 2 range creeps now, so if I try to trade with her too close, I'm gonna draw creeps. And she's positioning herself really well. She's like right on top of the creeps, so it's super hard to harass her without drawing aggro. So I'm just going to kind of back off a little bit. My silencer is pulling here, which is, I don't want to call it a misplay, it's just kind of miscommunication between us. If he was not pulling and helping me harass, this Windrunner wouldn't be able to get experience or trade with me at all, because she would have 2 heroes hitting her and the risk of being last worded and just dying to a lift. So it's just miscommunication. You kind of want to communicate with your other support if you're in a tri-lane what you should be doing. Like here I could have said, I think we should try to zone the Windrunner so that she is really afraid to come into lane, and then we can pull freely. Something like that would be really nice. But unfortunately I didn't communicate. My silencer is pulling while I'm trying to harass, and that results in the Windrunner being able to play super aggressive and get a bit more XP than she should have, and even pressure our Safelane carry a little bit. So always make sure to communicate with your other support. Alright, so we do manage to force the Windrunner back, which is pretty good. And our Safelane carry is farming pretty well. The goal of a Safelane support is usually to make it so that their carry is able to sustain themselves in the lane. This is different amounts of farm and experience for different heroes. A hero like DK, once he hits like level 4 or 5 and gets like 1 or 2 small items, is pretty self-sustaining in lane. He doesn't really need any help in controlling his lane and getting good farm. A hero like Spectre requires a lot more dedication. You need to determine how long you need to stay in lane. You don't want to sort of sit in lane and leech experience forever, because you're not really doing anything for your team there. And if your carry is able to just lane by themselves, it's much better to help your other lanes. Alright, so it's almost 3 minutes. Let's take a look at the experience. Windrunner is level 3, my DK is level 3, and both the supports are level 2. It's okay for this tri-lane. I don't think the Windrunner should have been able to get to level 3. I think me and the silencer should have been able to zone her better, but that's probably just due to lack of communication in a pub. I know my DK is probably going to be able to handle himself soon. So at this point, let's see what he has. He's going for a soul ring, and he's going to be level 4 soon, so he should be fighting against the Windrunner, who had to spend all her gold on more regen. So everything that she got from like the last hit, she only has 1 last hit, but all her gold over time was wasted on regen because we forced her back so early, and she sort of feels the pace of the lane. Like, she knows that we're being aggressive on her and trying to kill her, so she bought a lot of regen, which is good for us. She didn't get towards any real items. Alright, so a few things that I should have mentioned before. When you're in a tri-lane, you always want to have one support check the pull camps to make sure that none of them are blocked. I think the silencer did call it in this game. But you don't want to sort of spend the first minute zoning with both supports, and then once the offlaner is zoned, you go to pull and you realize, oh, it's blocked. So you have to waste like another minute setting yourself sentries. You kind of want to do that before the lane actually starts. And you don't always want to show immediately in the lane, depending on what your supports are. In this game, it was fine because we're Silencer and Rubik against the Windrunner with low regen, so it was probably good to start zoning her immediately. Let me think if I have anything else to say. Alright, you should always also carry a TP in case you need to help your other lanes. That is pretty important on heroes like Rubik, who have good defensive abilities. And another thing about carrying a TP is you should always have enough mana to TP and use your spell. I see a lot of supports TP in and not have enough mana to do anything, and just feed away another kill. I think that's about it. I might have missed a few things, but I can do another one of these if you guys like. Also try to do one on playing the carry role appropriately to make life easier for your supports to zone and keeping creep equilibrium and stuff like that. I can also do a mid lane one, but I'm not much of a mid player, so I might have to ask for help on that one. We might have like a guest or something. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video in the comment section below, and if you liked it or not, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.